Good evening, everyone. I'm Kenneth Adams, president of LaGuardia Community College. Welcome and thanks for joining us at this party to celebrate the 2021 calendar of Visual Presence LGBTQ Visual Arts in New York City. Each year, the LaGuardia and Wagner Archives calendars tell important stories and help us examine important aspects of New York City history. The Archives, which is a jewel of LaGuardia Community College, publishes calendars that are rich in information and images, along with big ideas peppered with fun facts. In our new 2021 calendar, we see amazing creative work of our city's LGBTQ community. In images, profiles, and anecdotes, we get 12 months of beautiful, poignant, and inspiring artistic projects, along with LGBTQ historic references from Stonewall to today. I want to thank New York City Council Speaker Corey Johnson and Councilmember Daniel Drum for their financial support of the archives and also of this special project. And more broadly, I thank them for their leadership in advancing the concerns and addressing the needs of our LGBTQ communities all across New York City. Congratulations to the faculty and staff from LaGuardia and Wagner Archives for their hard work in putting together this year's calendar. The calendar shows the work of several CUNY faculty: LaGuardia's own Lena Weisman, York College's Margaret Rose Vendress, Brooklyn College's Patricia Cronin, and finally, Felicita Maynard is a graduate of Brooklyn College. So you see that CUNY is very well represented. Dr. Stephen Weinstein of the Archives is the magician that makes our calendar come to life every year. Thank you so much, Stephen, and congratulations. Finally, let me recognize Richard Lieberman, of course, our friend, our esteemed colleague, and the leader of the Archives, for Richard's continued ability to create learning opportunities for our students, for all of us, through projects just like this one. Congratulations again to all of you, and have a wonderful celebration tonight. Thank you.
Billy Porter's African diva figure is wearing an Igbo mask. Billy is the second in my series of predominantly women African-American soloists and predominantly singers. So Billy Porter had to be part of this series because of his ability to be so gender fluid in his clothing, in his couture wear. He's so bold, so open, so much a part of our community. In the background, I had the lyrics from his absolutely fabulous Love Yourself, which he wrote specifically for the Stonewall 50 celebration, and that he performed amazingly for us as well. So the Igbo mask is worn by African men, the mask is carved by African men, but the ceremony and the performance is to celebrate women and womanhood and all of the ancestral spirits that keep a community safe in Igbo country, which is in Nigeria. It's a beautiful mask that he wears. Of course, it's a miniature rendition of it in order to fit onto this painting. And this wonderful outfit is written about in the caption for this. I wanted to say that I really appreciate the whole gender fluidity of Billy, but also the gender fluidity of the meaning behind this Igbo maiden spirit mask. One which I actually own a full-sized one. And this is February, Black History Month. Let us celebrate together.
Hi, everyone. I'm New York City Council member Danny Drum, and I represent Jackson Heights and Elmhurst in the New York City Council. I'm very proud to be here today for the calendar kickoff party. This is our third year of doing the calendar with the LaGuardia Wagner Archives, and they have done a tremendous job. Let me start off by thanking those who have been most involved in the project. Stephen Weinstein, of course, you've done a great job. Richard Lieberman, I can't thank you enough. Soraya Ciego Lamore, thank you. And Stephen Petrus, thank you as well. We have produced a wonderful, wonderful calendar, and I'm so proud to be able to be a part of it. Today I'm wearing, and I'm going to stand up, my LaGuardia Queen's Pride t-shirt. And I'm so proud of this because, you know, that's artwork too. And this was designed by CUNY students for the last actual Pride Parade that we had in Jackson Heights. Last year, of course, we couldn't have one because of the pandemic, and I doubt that we're going to be able to have one this year, although we'll see. We'll keep our fingers crossed. We haven't heard anything about it yet. But this artwork created by the LaGuardia students is really important to me. It's a heart held by hands, and it says Queen's Pride, telling everyone to be proud of who they are and to speak their own truth. Although we couldn't have a parade this year, I'm proud that LaGuardia has produced a virtual Pride celebration, which was excellent, and they've kept that tradition of Queen's Pride going. I mention that because continuing to be visible is so really important to our community. I always say that invisibility is our biggest enemy. And so by remaining visible, whether it be through the t-shirts, whether it be through virtual Pride celebrations, or whether it be for the calendar that we're producing today, it's another way of being visible. And this is about the visual arts. So what better way is the calendar than to produce something on the visual arts? This calendar is sending a message of coming out. It's actually shouting out. It's saying that we are out loud and proud. It's a personal expression of identity. The calendar benefited from the help of visual aids, which helped us to include 6 paintings and photographs by group members in the milestones section. Queer art led us to the work by Lola Flash, who mentored photographer Felicita Maynard. The artists in the calendar represent the diverse ethnicity of the LGBTQ plus community in New York City. So many of the artists are immigrants themselves, or the children of immigrants, like Chitra Ganesh and Salman Tour from India and Pakistan, Leila Barbire from Uganda and the Caribbean, like Felix Gonzalez Torres, Luis Cruz Asaceta, and Margaret Rose Vindries. From Russia, Lena Vazman. I'm so proud of all these folks who have participated in this calendar. Every month now, anybody who has the calendar will be able to open to a visual representation of LGBT life in this calendar. And so we continue the tradition. Year 3 is now here, and I'm very proud of the work that we've been able to accomplish with LaGuardia Community College. So thank you all, and I hope that everyone enjoys this calendar. Thank you very, very much.
I feel the current from the stream running through my veins. Vibrations in the vibe coming from my brain. A little switch, a quick flex coming from my muscles. My mind keep me focused, dedicated hustle. I'm spazzing, going off cause it's in my nature. Everything about me head to toe cause of nature. I suck toes and all that, naughty by the nature. My skin tone, my strong bones in that good Jamaica. I got emotions cause I'm human but I can't find them. I'm waking up to niggas at my door getting violent. Because I shot their manhood, now they on their ego. But ass, dick and pussy ain't no difference cause we equal. And if you wanna shoot the fair, we take it there. Don't be fooled by my hair and my underwear. See, my success wouldn't come if I lived it in fear. Now I know you about to come cause I'm in your ear.
Yo, ain't nobody playing with Bug. Got the city clocking his goods. Pull up in the BM, knowing all the hoes gon' see him. What? Body hottie got you feeling really special. Best believe that when this nigga breathe, the air is exponential.
Nobody. What else can I do? What else can I say? I'ma mind my own business, go about my day. Anybody catch the fade if they in my way. Come around my way if you wanna play, yeah.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Stephen Hitt. I'm the Artistic Producing Director of LaGuardia Performing Arts Center, LPAC at LaGuardia Community College, and I'm coming to you live from the Catskills right now. Normally, we'd be doing a live launch party, but we have to change things around a little bit. And normally, I'd be sitting right next to Richard Lieberman, but things are a little bit different again tonight. But we want to thank you all for attending this. We know you have a lot of other opportunities to be able to enjoy things. And so we appreciate you taking the time to come to the calendar launch party tonight. And we want to give you an opportunity to see it. Normally, we would be handing it out to you on your way out the door. But since we're not able to do that, we are in a position, though, to mail them to you. So there'll be a slide up at the end of the show that can tell you how to receive one if you haven't put in a request already for one or more. But at this point, I want to thank also Don Christian Jones for that musical video he just did for us. He is also the cover artist for this year's calendar. So he's a very talented man. So we're going to give you an opportunity now to look through some of the calendar, and then we'll talk more about it later.
When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home, I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing. When that makes the tall grass bend into leaning, suddenly the raindrops that fall, they have a meaning, sprinkling the scene, makes it all so clean. Maybe there's a chance for me to go back now that I have some direction. It sure would be nice to be back at home where there's love and affection. And just maybe I can convince time to slow up, giving me enough time in my life to grow up. Time be my friend and let me start again.
Suddenly my world is gone and changed its face, but I still know where I'm going. I have had my mind spun around in space, and yet I've watched it growing.
And oh, if you're listening, God, please don't make it hard to know if we should believe the things that we see.
Should we run away, or should we try and stay? Or would it be better just to let things be? Living here in this brand new world might be a fantasy, but it's taught me to love.
Look inside our hearts to find
Hi, everyone. I am Professor Leanna Weisman from the Fine Arts program in the Humanities Department at LaGuardia Community College. I am honored that my work is part of the 2021 LaGuardia calendar among such luminaries as David Wojnarowicz and Patricia Cronin and many other artists who have inspired me along my path as an art historian and photographer. Today, I'd like to talk a bit about my own work that's in the calendar and speak about my practice in relationship to queer aesthetics. In Same River Twice, I make panoramic digital photographs on rivers. I'm drawn to water as a metaphor for movement and time, hence the name Same River Twice, which comes from a pre-Socratic philosophical idea that you can never step into the same point in time twice. What's interesting for me about these pictures that you're seeing now are the glitches, are what's called dropouts, or slivers, which is when you push digital technology to the limit and the machine can't cope anymore. So I use an iPhone and I move, and I'm usually on a moving train or a moving ferry or boat, and also move the camera at the same time in terms of my process. And this creates these slivers of time that you can see. These slivers to me represent different moments of experience. And the idea that you cannot, or that we cannot see one straight point of view, but my point of view is always glitchy and multifocal, focused on multiple places at the same time. I got interested in photographing time in my project that I did in Oakland, California. It was called Lemon Tree Project. I collaborated with my lemon tree in the backyard for a full year, and I became interested in the lemons that fell to the ground, rolled away, and developed this beautiful bloom of personality through mold, which is a process of transformation that happens over time. So I find these to be kind of these queer portraits of the lemons that develop their own path through life and death. In Lonely City, I walked around Queens at night, and my outsider perspective here, often looking into store windows that are lit, but I'm in the dark, often barbershops that I can't enter because they're male-only spaces. This is also kind of a queer oblique glance at my own subjectivity. I feel that my practice comes out of being a queer woman, being a lesbian, but also being an immigrant and always having that outsider point of view, which I think intersects with my identity as a queer person and an academic. Thank you so much for including me in the catalog, and I hope you enjoy it.
My name is Ryan Toscrino, and thank you for allowing me to be part of this amazing project. When we first started this project, a bunch of us photo students said, here's a list of people that you needed to document. And my original subject was Eddie Valentine. When we sat down to photograph, Eddie and I had talked about the importance of gay nightlife to the LGBTQIA community, and how gay bars and gay clubs provided a sense of security to members who participated inside the clubs. The image that is being added to the archive is actually of two professionally trained ballroom dancers having a moment of connection that I found really important and really beautiful. When I first started shooting the project, I thought it'd be a lot more about sexuality and kind of the things that happen at nighttime. And what I found was there was such a sense of community, specifically in Jackson Heights, and it being a primarily Latino-based community, that it was just friends kind of coming together and feeling comfortable in a safe space and being able to bond over amazing music and just allowing themselves to be on the dance floor and living their authentic lives. One of the things that I think that the image itself kind of shows is this livelihood of is connection and beauty and color and a lot of it's almost kind of diffused in the smoke, which allowed for people on the dance floor to kind of shed a little skin and shed some awareness. When I first started shooting the project, there was a lot of pushback. I was not a member of the community, and it took a while for people to get comfortable with me being there, exposing them. They didn't know what my agenda was with these images. They didn't know who I was. And it wasn't until I befriended a bunch of the bartenders and the bouncers and the dancers, the go-go boys, that the patrons kind of started realizing, like, who I was. Okay, this guy is cool. Like, he's fine to be in our space. And once that understanding was established that I was not a threat to them or their community, then it was easier for me to kind of get inside and have these, beautiful moments, and for people to kind of let their guard down around me. And, one of the hardships that we faced was being a photographer at nighttime. I tried not to have any kind of flash, because the second that the flash would go off, it exposed me. And the second that I was now exposed, people are now more aware that I'm there. And I would go from a photojournalist to an event photographer. And, you see the behavioral change, like, oh, I don't want my photo taken, or, oh, hey, look at me, take my photo. Can I get a copy of that? And I didn't want that to be part of the project, or what my purpose being at the bars was. It was very much about documenting the lifestyle in these gay bars, and me wanting to show why they're so important to LGBTQIA people. So thank you so much for allowing me to be part of this project, and I really appreciate it.
It all begins when everyone is born free from the prison called human placenta. After childhood, we become adults, wondering what will guide our future agenda. I know it's hard to live a single life, but also hard to be with someone. It's little tales, oh, when you roll the dice, life is a game for each and every one.
What is freedom?
Depends on the color of your skin.
Freedom of your mind.
Depends on the language that you speak.
What is freedom?
Depends on who you're praying to.
Freedom of your heart.
Depends who's the one who loves you. Oh! Looking for someone's an endless game.
Wherever you go, wherever you are.
Where the moon is always the same.
Pieces of peace and chain of war.
There will be rivers full of purple color. Whiskers cross flying from a distant floor. Volcanoes vomiting hot lava thorns, leaving behind their prints of ashes blow. Freedom depends on the money that you make.
Freedom of your mind.
Depends on your true or your fake.
What is freedom?
Depends on where you rest your head.
Freedom of your heart.
It's really living for you day. When you are calm with your mind, with all your soul and your spirit. When you are walk with a state of consciousness, and well you know that you made it. Woo!
Freedom, freedom, freedom.
Depends on the color of your skin.
Freedom, freedom.
Depends on the language that you speak.
Freedom, freedom.
Depends on where you rest your head.
Freedom, freedom.
Is you really living for your time?
Freedom, freedom.
Freedom.
Thank you. That was Miguel Agnello, who is going to be performing, we hope, live at LPAC later on in this year. It's a show that we were supposed to have done last year, but it was too good for me to just put it onto video. So we saved the live performance for later on. And that also, Waiting for La Misa Baby is the name of the show, and it is helped and sponsored through funds from this project as well. So we thank the archives for that. We thank Council Member Drum, and we thank the speaker, Corey Johnson. Now I have a whole list of people who've been working on this, so I'm going to read them. But I want to make sure that we get this through. First of all, Tuesday Smiley was a graphics designer who did amazing work on this particular calendar, and we really want to congratulate her and thank her for her work. Leanna Valziman, as you saw earlier, Ariana Martinez, Natalie Willens, Chelsea Del Rio. For tonight, our engineers, Juan Zapata, Oleg Kleban, Stephen Weinstein, Stephen Petrus, Stephen Hitt, there's a theme there. Molly Resner, Paul Lewis Anderson, Soraya Siega Lamour, and our fearless leader, the director, Dr. Richard Lieberman. So we thank you all for being with us tonight. It's a quick and easy show this time. But we did want to make sure that we had something to celebrate in this crazy time in the world right now.
So thank you so much, everyone. This has been a great calendar party. And now we look forward to 2021 for health and happiness for everyone. And just remember, every month that you open this calendar, you're going to have a visual representation of the LGBT community provided by LaGuardia College and the LaGuardia Wagner Archives. Congratulations to all those involved and a happy and healthy 2021.